Hey, welcome back everybody to RAD BMX Builds, and first and foremost, a huge thank you to you. We are approaching 20,000 subscribers. So those of you that took your time and hit that button, thank you so much. That equates to 7.5 million views over the 350, 60 videos that I've posted here on YouTube. So we're getting close to reaching a monumental, I don't know, goal of mine on YouTube, and that's hitting that 20,000. I wouldn't be able to do it without you. So I'm gonna bring you a really cool video today. I'm gonna do something that I've done in the past, but it's time to do again because my collection is ever changing. And the video I did previous to this that said my bike collection or whatever it was titled, all those bikes are pretty much gone and all new ones have come in, and that's kind of what happens here. So I think it's time I get you caught up and show you what I currently have at RAD BMX Builds. Now, all my bikes will not be in this video because I have two PK Rippers currently off at powder coat, getting powder coated different colors. And you'll just have to, I don't know, subscribe or watch some upcoming videos that are gonna be reveals of those bikes and those builds. Okay, let's get into Sean's personal BMX collection. All right, just a quick little overall view, and then we're gonna go down the lineup of the bikes because we are sitting on a pretty packed shop right now. And it's pretty crazy when I just come out here and I start looking around and I think, man, like, imagine being in the 80s and walking into a BMX bike shop and just being able to see all this stuff. Like, it is so cool to walk out and feel like I just went back in 40 years in time and I get to listen to 80s music, work on bikes, and just sell some. And speaking of selling some, a couple of these have already sold and a couple are for sale, and more are gonna be for sale soon. Okay, I know what you're saying. That last statement probably triggered a whole lot of people. There are two bikes in this collection right now, and I just want to clear it up for everybody, that are sold. I ship them today. So right after I'm done filming this video, I need to box up two bikes and get them ready for UPS that's coming by the shop this afternoon. So those bikes are already accounted for, and that's my GT Pro Series and my Haro Freestyler. And a big shout out to those guys that bought those bikes because they're sick and you're gonna be very happy. So thank you for your business. There are more bikes available. We'll talk about that in a minute, but I've got to say it in every single video. If you want one, RADBMXBUILDS.com is the only place you're gonna get it, along with shirts and hats and hoodies and stickers, but you already know the drill. So let's get into showing you some of these bikes. All right, we'll just get this one knocked out real quick, so hang in there with me. This is an electric bike. It is a BMX style bike, and we'll just go over some parts real quick. I did pads, grips, seat post clamp, stem, tires, pedals, and chain. I love this bike. It's a great BMX style bike, but where I live is very hilly, and I wish it just had a little bit more power, but the Swift 20-inch BMX electric bike. Okay, this 1989 GT Pro Series team model was one of my favorites in my collection, but I just decided to let it go. I put it on the website, 10 minutes later it was gone. So this is one of the bikes that I'm gonna have to pack and ship out today, going off to its new owner. This bike is absolutely flawless. It's amazing. It's a showstopper, 48 spoke wheels. One of the very rare 5-dimple GT stems on it with 4-piece GT bars. This bike's just absolutely gorgeous. Everything about this is perfect. And I hate to see it go, but sometimes you just gotta let them do that. So say goodbye to that one. Okay, another stunning bike. This is a 24-inch Hutch XL 24 Pro Racer, where Hollywood Mike Miranda came to the shop, signed the number plate, and this bike is absolutely stunning. It has SR stem, Hutch ladder bars, Flite Tech seat, SR seat post clamp, Sagino crown, cranks and a Sagino crown 44 tooth chain ring, brake guard. Everything on this bike is just perfect. And I'm actually thinking about letting this one go in the near future. So you'll just have to watch for that. All right, last one was a Hutch. This one's a CW and a CW Phase 1 lightning bolt bike. And this bike's amazing. It's the second one that I've owned. And I let the first one go and I regretted it. So I got another one, got lucky enough to find one. And I went all out on this one. This one has details on details. Definitely a show bike. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's got the Pro Neck stem. It's got the Pro Neck power disc, Pro Neck polished chainring, Pro Neck seat post clamp, CW seat. This bike is a stunner from any angle whatsoever. And it's got the iconic lightning bolt, which is super rad. Speaking of rare, how about a 1980 Cook Brothers Racing in chrome and blue? This bike is one of my unicorns, one of my favorites. I don't have any desire to let this go anytime soon. Al Transit bars. Gosh, I love this bike. Forward leaning, double clamp stem. Hardly any rust anywhere whatsoever. Cook Brothers cranks. Sagino chainring. Die-comp brakes. Cashamax seat. Double clamp seat post clamp. One of my favorites. Very hard to find these bikes. They're very rare and they're not cheap. So it wasn't cheap to get, wasn't cheap to build, but any good collector should have a Cook Brothers racing bike. All right, doesn't get much more old school cool than this. A 1983 Diamondback 2 Silver Streak with Diamondback 3-piece cranks, array of wheels. This bike is all original. It's already sold. It's just waiting here at my shop to be picked up by the new owner, and I will reveal who that is at some point, but not anytime soon, and I can't divulge why. But it's gonna go to a very rad person, and I'm very honored that they're getting one of my bikes. So 1983 Diamondback, already spoken for. Speaking of spoken for, this Haro Freestyler Mike Dominguez tribute build was also just purchased off the website, and it's going to its new home in Keene, New Hampshire. So shout out to you for your new purchase. This bike is absolutely amazing with its 48 spoke wheels, Kenda tires, custom power disc by Pops, one-piece cranks, die-comp seat post clamp, laid back seat post. I love this bike. It came out so good. You know, it's not that I have a love or hate for Haro. I just don't get a lot of them. I've had a Master, I've had a Group 1, I've had a Freestyler. So they come and go, but they don't come and go as often as some of the other bikes. But man, it sure is good looking. All right, how about a 1983 Bluemax made by Mongoose, only sold to military installations. This is a pretty rare bike full of old school parts, like it's got a Sagino crown stem. It's got old school original die-comp brakes, an original die-comp double bolt seat post clamp, and a Takagi chainring Sagino Spider. And KKT lightning pedals, those are getting so hard to find. I ended up putting new tires, new Pro Class wheels, new grips, new seat, and pads on this bike. This bike can be yours right now at RADBMXBUILDS.com. This one is still available. It's got the CW style bars, the Fwan F1 grips. Oh man, it's so good. This is just the old school cool right here. I love this bike. Based off the Mongoose Californian, these Bluemax bikes are epic. Also available on the website is this 1996 Dyno Nitro 24-inch bike. The Dyno 24s are pretty rare, and this has the Dyno grips in really good shape. Dyno inverted polished stem, beautiful Mohawk hubs that I polished out. I threw on some Dyno valve stem caps, some Comp 3 style tires. I hand polished this entire bike. New pads. It's got GT double bolt seat clamp, a Dyno laid back seat post, a Dyno drop nose seat, cantilever brakes. This bike is in great shape. I did throw a new chain and new chainring bolts on it. What a great bike. This could be yours right now at RADBMXBuilds.com. This dyno is gonna go, I mean, someone's gonna be really happy. Whoever gets this is gonna love this bike. Very rideable, very rad. All right, we're about halfway there. Those are just the bikes that are on the floor. We still have all of these behind us. And like I said, we'll talk a little bit. I'll give you a little bit of information about the bikes at Powder Coat, but not too much because I don't want to spoil it. But I don't want to leave you hanging either. So we're going to give you some breadcrumbs, and I'll see if you can figure it out and write it down in the comments. But let's talk about some of these bikes behind me and why they're up on the shelves and not on the floor. It's not just for display purposes. It's because they're some of my favorite. They have meaning. They're part of the collection that isn't for sale. All those other ones, I'm considering selling or are already currently on the website to be sold, or will end up on the website at a future date. Okay, these ones behind me, I don't know. You'll have to wait and see. Let's check them out. First and foremost, let's talk about this Mongoose Super Goose. I was gonna do an entire build video on this bike. Why? Because this is actually one of the brand new red and blue Super Gooses that you can buy off the Mongoose website. But I did everything to it. I took it completely apart, powder coated it, got different decals, different grips, different donuts, added some RAD BMX pads that you can get right now at Flite's website, linked down below. I added Comp 3 style black tires to the really cool Pro Class wheels. I added some dice, I added some spacers, and then as we move back, you can see the decals, the pads, and I added a black seat. And then here's where it gets really cool. I had the chainring powder coated and added a power disc, added a blue and nickel chain, added old school style cranks, added MKS BM7 pedals, and I think that's about it. So I changed a lot on this bike. I'm probably gonna sell this one at some point, but I just finished it and I wanted to show you. This bike just came out so good. The color is troll blue and my powder coater did an amazing job. Pro Class bars, Flite donuts even with the splatter paint, just to highlight some of the colors in this. Love this bike, it looks so good. All right, before we dive into all of these bikes up here, let's talk about what we're currently working on. And this is one of the brand new Torker 20-inch Eddie King Gen 2 frame sets from Torker. That's a mouthful. They did a Gen 1 and I built that bike and I sold it. And this bike has much improved things like a 1-inch threaded fork that is not tapered and will accept a 21-1 stem. The headset will now accept a BMX 1-inch cup. The old ones took a road bike cup. And it is bigger diameter tubing on top and on bottom. It'll take the 1-inch or a 25/4 seat post clamp with a 22.2 seat post, side pull brakes, and a Euro threaded bottom bracket. I've already started collecting some parts for this bike. These wheels right here are gonna go on it. And that's about all I'm gonna tell you about that build, because I'm gonna be doing a whole video on this sweet Torker frame build up to a complete bike. All right, welcome to my mess. This is a table containing parts for not one, but two different PK Ripper builds. One of them was a Mike Buff bike, and one of them was the yellow and red Vans collaboration bike that I did a video on. Both of those bikes are now off at Powder Coat getting complete color change. And they are gonna be different colors. One bike will be one color, one will be the other. So you'll have to figure out what colors those are gonna be. All right, moving on back to the bike collection. Now that we're over here in the corner, this is the Eddie Fiola GT Pro World Tour build that I did. And this is based off one of the brand new GT 1972 hand-built by Craig Turner frame sets with a 21.5-inch top tube. So a little bit longer, way cooler, but I made it old school. Got an 85 seat on it, 85 seat clamp on it, side pull brakes, GT power disc and chainring. And then I did some flanged Skyway wheels, GTLP5 tires, MKS graphite pedals, GT pads, GT mallet stem, performer bars, and of course, Amy grips, brake lever covers, locking levers. This bike came out really rad. And a few people were making comments like, oh, that bend looks weird. This is a 21.5 top tube bike, not like an 18.5. So yeah, in photos and videos, it's gonna look different because this bike is longer. Then someone said, there's no way with that laid back seat post you can reach the handlebars. I'm telling you, that is not that far unless you got little T-Rex arms. It's perfectly fine. So you just have to trust me on that. All right, moving on to some PK rippers. I'm working on this Perry Kramer signature model PK Ripper right now. No, it is not done. I did a video on this bike and then I decided to make some changes. I have some different donuts that I've already bought that are coming. I have a different seat that I already bought that's coming. And then I think it's gonna be done because I love everything about this bike. I do not have any intention on selling this one anytime soon. So I'm just gonna hang on to this. And if I ever do decide to sell it, well, I'll let you know. I'll make a post on Instagram, I'll make a short on YouTube, and I'll let the world know that if you want it, you can buy it. But not right now. And speaking of PK rippers, my 1983 old school PK ripper is what I love the jumbo donuts on this bike. I really love that. And just all the details on this bike give me all the feels, all the 80s vibes. I rode a baby blue and gold PK Ripper back in high school, so this is kind of to pay homage to that nostalgic memory that I have because that bike's long gone. So when I got back into building bikes, I decided to build a baby blue and gold PK Ripper. And I've had this now in my collection. It's the bike I've had the longest out of all my bikes is this one right here. It's probably going on 5 years that I've had this bike and it's not going anywhere. I don't plan on getting rid of it and it's here to stay. So a lot of people are always asking me how much? Just stop asking me that because honestly, if you want to know how much, you just go to the website if it were even for sale, but it's not going anywhere. So no need to ask. Alrighty, you're gonna have to bear with me. I'm not gonna take all these down from the top. I just had them down the other day. Probably should have filmed it then, but this is my GT Team Series in GT yellow with a bunch of blue anodized parts. And I love this bike. It came out really good. One of my favorites, that's why it's up here. It's not going anywhere. I don't plan on selling it. And it's got the SR chainring, GT Power Series cranks. It's got an SR stem on it, GT bars, GT seat, brake guard. And I love the wheels. These are by Technique. They look like the Pro Class wheels, but they are different. And I used a yellow rim strip in there to highlight the yellow bike. And they came out really good. Shout out to Wes, Mr. Dice Guy, for the valve stem caps. Love this bike. Every detail on it's absolutely stunning. All right, moving on to the next one. One of the most sought after Pro Series ever in existence, the 1987 GT Pro Series. This is a full custom build, and what makes this bike so unique, the brake bridge right there is super rad, and of course, the forks. 87 was such a good year, great decals, great bike, and this one is signed by Kevin Hull that used to race a GT Pro Series for GT in 1987. He was here at the shop and I asked him to sign this and he did. It's right up there on the frame. It's getting hard to see, but it's up there, loaded with GT parts. This is one of my favorite bikes, and it's not going anywhere either. So here to stay in the collection, my 1987 GT Pro Series. Wow, these are getting hard to film, hanging this thing over my head like this, but this is a collaboration that I did with Craig Turner to build a Tommy Bracken's replica bike. This is Maui Blue. It's got the Tommy Bracken's replica Dyno UL plate, yellow grips. Basically went off a picture of Tommy Bracken's on a Maui blue bike, and from what I could tell, chose the parts that I thought he had on there. I did add a few things just to give it my flair, like the brake guard and the matching Maui blue chainring that I got from Pop's Bikes. And this bike is one of my favorites. It is stamped RADBMX on the dropout, which is really cool. And it's got the Tioga Comp 3 tires on it. Super cool bike. Anyway, love the Maui blue. Who doesn't love Maui blue? But it's even cooler on a race bike, in my opinion. Okay, quick 2-second pause. Speaking of my opinion, the problem with social media or any video platform is when you talk to your camera, your audience, sometimes your words get misunderstood. So I want to clarify something. I value your opinion. I value you as someone that watches my videos. I try to read and even reply to most of the comments down in the comments section. So those of you that are positive and supportive, I truly appreciate that. There are some that are not, and that's fine too. But my point is, some people misinterpret what I say when I say my bike, I don't care, blah, blah. What I mean by that is they are my bikes and I'm going to build them however I want. It doesn't mean I disagree with or discount your comment down below as try this, think about that. Maybe if you could have done that. Constructive criticism is always welcome. Negative criticism, not so much, but I do read, I do reply, I do appreciate you as a subscriber and what you comment down below. I will continue to build my bikes the way I want them for me because that's what brings me the enjoyment and I hope brings you the enjoyment as well. So we're going to continue to do it my way, but sometimes you influence me. You really do. There's been subscribers that have left comments that made me change something because it was a better idea than the one I had at the time that I built the bike. So keep giving me those constructive comments down below because I appreciate them. Just keep it positive, keep it rad. Let's move on. And boy, oh boy, one of my favorite race bike builds is this Lavender GT. This one's also stamped RADBMX on the dropout, hand built by Craig Turner, lavender chainring bolts. It's also got the lavender mallet stem. Oh, I didn't mention, the blue one's got a blue stem. So just a nice little touch there. I did the chrome decals, the Lavender GT Huntington Beach pad set. Love this bike. It came out so good. All the old school vibes on the number plates. That's kind of cool right there. You can kind of see them all. But lavender, man, on a race bike, I don't know. I think it's cooler than on a freestyle bike. So I'm a big race bike guy, if you didn't notice, because they're so cool. Speaking of cool, here it is, the GT RADBMX Collab prototype bike. A lot of controversy in the forums and groups about this bike, but I will tell you, there were only 25 made that were exactly out of the 25. Now there's variants. Now there's other bikes on Craig's website that are extremely similar to this, but they will not be the same as the 25 that were sold. And they are sold out, so you can't even get them anymore. GT power disc, GT cranks, GT parts all over this bike. And then the really cool decals by Elite BMX Decals. Did some collab decals. If you got one of those frames, go check them out at EliteBMXDecals.com. So there's the lineup, the GT RAD BMX Collab bike, the Lavender bike, the Maui Blue bike, and the 87 Pro Series, and then the real old school Team Series, and the PK Rippers. 2 more to come. Okay, last but not least, no, I did not forget the Radical Rick bike. This bike was built for Damian Fulton's display at the BMX Hall of Fame in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where it resided for a year. And then I brought it back here and it's now in the shop. It is undergoing some maintenance right now, so it does need a new seat. And I'm having new decals made for it as well. The original's faded out real bad, so we're just gonna replace them with some new ones. Signed number plate by Damian. signed frame by Damien. And this was one of the 24-inch Haro Radical Rick bikes that I wasn't a fan of. So Damien said, Sean, if I get you one, can you do a build? I did, and it ended up in the display at the BMX Hall of Fame. So huge shout out to Damien and Radical Rick for being so rad all these years. And okay, that's the current bike collection minus those 2 PK Rippers. I want to know what you think, what colors. I gave a huge hint on that table as to one of the colors, but can you guess the other? I don't think you will. I would be shocked if you did. It's a rare color, and I can't wait. I can't wait. It should be any day now, maybe even in the next video. We'll see. Okay, I do have a couple bikes on the website at radbmxbuilds.com. 2 bikes that I need to box up right now that I don't think you need to see on video, get shipped off to the new owners. UPS is already on their way with another package for me, and I want to give him those bikes when he gets here. So thanks again for watching. Consider hitting that subscribe. Leave me a comment down below. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you, and as always, stay rad. Build a bike, ride a bike, get out there, stay positive, have a good time. We're all one community.